Previously on Survivor Buffalo.
Stop lying. I will work with that. Like, seriously, like, a strong player.
I'm not.
Like, I want to get back in the door. All I care about.
Eric wins immunity.
I know Mark and Lindsay both are like, okay, we're screwed. I have an in with Emily, and I'm not necessarily not close to the rest of her group. But I mean, we'll see what happens.
Next person voted out of Survivor Buffalo. Maddie.
We have a tight five. Me, Eric, Carla, Emily, and Andrew. With two other people on the outside, being Mark and Lindsay. So we should be able to dominate from this point on. I still haven't hit you out.
I'm trying to play up like the wounded dog kind of thing to maybe, take some of the heat off myself.
Congratulations, Emily. Wins immunity. She's safe from the tribal council. Mark, that's enough. Mark, 5-6.
Final six.
Wow. Hey guys, I want to make a final six deal with you.
Final I don't think so. That's a good deal. I feel like I am in control. I set up my alliances that I was kind of, to use a phrase I heard on Survivor once, the godfather of the group, to kind of put myself in everyone comes to me. I have Carlo comes to me, tells me what he wants to do. I have Eric comes to me, tells me what Emily's gonna do. Emily comes to me and tells me what Eric's gonna do. So I feel like I have everyone where I need them. Andrew's the only outlier.
Are we in agreement that we should probably get him out soon then?
I mean,
soon.
there's so much things that could happen in between now and then.
Well, he could win immunity.
He could, very easily.
But he hasn't won a single immunity yet.
Well, he won
he did.
the balloon.
He won the individual swap.
Not
So,
since.
so it's like two.
Not since the
Well, not since the merge, but yeah.
Well, I made certain promises to very specific people from the first 5 minutes of us getting over to our cabin, and I plan to stick with those. I feel loyalty is very strong. Have I made other semi-promises? Absolutely. I played the game. I played the game hard to make sure that I made it this far. You're a minority for such a long time in the group. You have to. So I made a lot of key promises to get me this far, but I have very specific people that I have coming to me the final 3 if that's it, or the final 2 if that becomes it.
I'm hoping that some openings will happen. I hope some of the people will stop thinking so tribe-like now that it's down to 6, and start really evaluating who are the threats. I know Andrew has said he wants to get out Nick, and obviously Nick is the front runner to win this game. So I think there's some hope.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is time for the next immunity competition. Are you guys all ready and set? Yes. All right, first thing first. I'm going to take our immunity idol. That's the look I'm getting with that. Immunity is back up for grabs. I can tell you how to get it. You're gonna have to use your brain. You're gonna be given a phrase. letters. You're gonna have to put the letters into the correct phrase. Just scramble it. I'll give you guys a second to strategize, prep yourselves, and we'll get started. All right, survivors ready? Go! All right, everyone's speedily opening up their envelopes. Not being vulnerable tonight. We'll get it though, is the question. A couple of words forming over here with Carlo. The big picture of the little things.
Check.
Andrew wins immunity! Safe from tribal council, leaving the rest of you vulnerable and possibly going to be the next person eliminated from this competition. Best of luck, survivors.
So as soon as I saw the couple F's and the V in Final 5, I knew I had it already. So it was just a matter of getting the letters together. That was the hardest part, is picking them up, because they were stuck to the table. Immunity means I am in the Final 5, just like my puzzle said. I think I would have been regardless, because I'm tight with everybody left in this game. I think I have multiple paths to the final 3, and I'm hoping they're not lying to me, and I hope I just don't get fifth place and they vote me out then. That's what I'm kind of worried about, because they've been together since the beginning of the game, whereas I come in, save them at the merge, and then they can just drop me whenever they want to. I don't really want to go to final 3 with Lindsay or Nick, because I feel like those are my best chances of losing. And at this point, I don't know if I have any chance of winning anyway, because the entire jury hates me, because I flipped. I flipped on my old tribe. But if I can explain it well, given I'm in the final 3 at least, if I can explain my move, maybe I'll get some votes. I think I deserve the win. That's why I need to get Nick and Lindsay out, and then at that point my only threat is Emily.
The thing is, he makes himself look like a jerk.
Has he done anything since the merge? He hasn't done anything since the merge.
Well,
But there's just a perception that he's a good player, so I mean...
he called the Naomi thing.
I did, that was me.
And Jared.
He did Jared.
Yeah.
I think I did Naomi though.
Yeah, but like, he said like we can't vote Lindsay though. I don't know.
But let me know. I mean, I know I'm there. I'm on the time
I'm trying to like weigh all the options.
Yeah.
There's lots of Lindsay has like really good pitches that to me sound like amazing, and I'm like, whoa, it was gonna be you. Like, no, I can't let you talk me out of it. And like Andrew thinks the final 2 with me, but I also like think he's onto the fact that I'm snaking him, and I'm just like, oh, I feel like such a horrible person, and I'm going to the final 4 hopefully with the original Cayuga, and my thing is Eric says he'll go with me. Nick says it's me, Eric, and him, but the thing is we're probably all telling each other that we're our final 2 or 3. I know I can make it a 3 if I want. I know I can make it a 2 if I want with my legacy, but it's just like Eric's the only one that knows that, and he knows I'd will it to him. So like, is Eric going, okay, so I'm gonna vote Emily out and then hopefully get the legacy advantage? Like, ooh, he doesn't know I will be bitter, so hopefully that doesn't happen. Yeah, maybe I am a snake, I don't know. I just really want to win, and I like kind of might have a chance. If I can get there, I think I got it. But the question is, can I get there?
I mean, if Lindsay's trying to get us to vote you, and I'm sure you can understand that.
Well, I like I already said, if she plays on that, I know the votes on me.
I don't think she doesn't have an idol.
So the only way it happens.
No one in this game has an idol.
If I can get past this vote, I think I'm locked in for the end. I think I have 3 strong people. That are 2 other strong people with me, so that would put me final 5. I should have majority. So I don't think there's any way I'm not in the finals. But of course,
I've said lies to people to get my way with certain things. I'm sure other people have done it too, so I'm hoping that I can trust my core alliance to get me to the end. I always feel nerves. I at least have the idol, so if I feel too many nerves, I can play it. Because I know Lindsay's been walking around saying I'm going to get all the jury votes, so it wears me a little bit, but I feel like I still can hold tight with my strong 4. And then Andrew, I keep going back and forth. Do I just play the idol this time to be safe, or do I play on the last one I can, and that's next time? That way I'm guaranteed final 4. It's definitely a thought I keep going back and forth on. I just don't want to go home with an idol in my pocket.
All right, let's welcome our jurors. Jared, Adam, Naomi, Maddie, and last voted out, Mark. Final 6 of Survivor Buffalo along with the jury. What are we thinking, guys? How is the trajectory of this game going to go? And what can you do to make it go that way?
I mean, from my point of view, I think there's like one person who's been in control for pretty much as long as I've seen from the outside. And the person has been able to keep together a really strong alliance, and it's really impressive. And I know that that's where my vote's going if I leave tonight. And so I'm just hoping everyone's thinking about, like, obviously what's their best chance to win at the end. I know personally I'm sort of emotionally and mentally drained. I don't see myself winning 5 and 4 immunity. And I think, I'm a big threat to keeping the game. So you could open the game up and you could still have an easy vote out.
Does anyone have anything to respond to that? Does anyone want to name the person who she claims is the Caesar of this group?
Well, I'm pretty sure she was indicating me, because she was walking around talking to a lot of people, trying to, of course, save herself, which I get, just like anyone does at this point of the game. And I'll say, too, a lot of our decisions, I've talked to Eric, I've talked to Carla, talked to Andrew, talked to Emily, pretty much about all our decisions that we've made. And
But that's not how it comes across.
I mean, we work together well, and we've done it since pretty much since that one big vote that really changed the game and put us in the majority. I mean, it's not fun being in the minority. I will say in tribal, it's not fun at all unless you have the necklace. So it's interesting.
Carlo, is this? I mean, who's right here? She says it comes across like he just sort of tells
Nick
her
is
to vote.
an alpha. He's golden boy. He's he's likable. He's kind. He's never said anything mean to me or done he's always been straight up with me. And so for him to get this far and play that game, that's a huge threat. And other people, whether you've been working together or not, no one has his charisma.
I see. So I mean, she's got a perception, and he seems to have some claims here. Who's right? Both. Okay, can you explain what that means?
Nick's a great guy. That's part of the reason he works well with people. The same reason someone's going to say someone's a threat is the same reason you might say they're an ally.
Eric, I mean, what's your take on this? She seems to think they're both right, and they're just taking it from different
Lindsay's got a great point. I mean, obviously Nick is, I feel like this whole tribal council is about Nick, but
I know, I don't like it.
but back on what Emily said, he is a huge ally as well. So it's a tough decision to make when you're in that, which way do you go kind of thing. So,
are you looking at it as a decision, or is your mind already set?
I'm looking at it as, I feel like my ass could have been on the line several times in this game, and actually it almost was. And I'm looking at people that actually have proven to me with actions that they wanted to be loyal to me, and loyalty is pretty big to me, and it's hard to come by in a game like this. So when you have someone who, you have people who are willing to go to rocks and were willing to get themselves out of the game just to keep you in, and to always check in with you, and we always discuss things together, I can understand how it looks from the outside. And to a degree, maybe I might have felt that way, but there were times that Nick had to be put in check a little bit, but we always checked in with each other. And there are things that were done by Nick that proved to me his loyalty So a lot of my decisions have been based on actions in this game and not, I promise I'm not writing your name down. And then I turn around and there's no fucking name on a piece of paper.
So the choice is vote Nick or vote Lindsay. I think if either of them are in the final three, they win the game.
Really?
Yes.
That's a big claim. Does anyone
I think it's a
disagree?
correct claim.
You're going to disagree with that claim? Wow. All right. Well, I think it's time to vote. Eric. Alright, if anyone has a hidden immunity idol and would like to play it, now would be the time to do so. Alright, I'll read the votes. First vote. Nick. Second vote. Nick. Next vote. Lindsay. There's 2 votes Nick, 1 vote Lindsay. Next vote. Lindsay. That is 2-2. Next vote. Lindsay. It is 3 votes Lindsay, 2 votes Nick. 11th person voted out of Survivor Buffalo. And the next member of our jury, Lindsay. Lindsay, the tribe has spoken.
I love this game so much. So it's amazing to get to be able to play with all of you, and I'm like so proud of myself. And I'm so proud of all of you guys. Like, this was hard, but awesome and fun. And so just keep having fun, okay? Like, just make sure you make this as fun as possible, and you know, be okay with your decisions in the end. But yeah, just have fun, okay? Love you guys. So in the last tribal council, I went into it pretty sure that I was going to be voted out, but I've also been thinking I was going to get voted out for the past 3 tribals, so I think by the time I got to this one I was sort of used to it, my name being out there, so it definitely got easier. I think right now Nick is the clear front runner. I don't think really any of them have a chance against Nick. And that's just me being honest, and I've played this game honestly, which I think is something I have to reflect on. If I were to ever play again, if I would ever get a chance to actually play this game for real, I would definitely have to work on my deceptive gameplay and just a little bit more subterfuge. I think I'm definitely too naive and honest, and I go with who I like and who I connect with instead of who it makes sense. Unfortunately, during tribal, what's his name? Andrew. Yeah, he's that irrelevant to me right now. He thinks he's gonna get my jury vote by saying he's voting with me. Andrew, you did nothing to help any of us this whole entire game. That's not going to get my jury vote. Nick is so good at lurking around and like making sure all of his soldiers are in place that it was really hard to get anyone alone. So in the end, I did the best I could do, and I'm just really proud to have played this game that I love.
Final five.
Hand hugs.
Oh my god. I haven't done one before. Woo!
That's so cute.
This is so awkward and weird. That has to be one of the most stressful travels I've been through. I would say that was the biggest pair of balls I've ever had in my life, not playing that thing. But like I said, I have 3 people I really trust, with Carlo, Emily, and Eric. And honestly, at this point, I'm guaranteed Final 4. I think I'm gonna be guaranteed Final 3. And in my opinion, I thought that trial proved how much everyone thinks I'm winning this game. So I think I have this locked up, but like I always say, it's Survivor, and never guarantee yourself anything. So, interesting. but I feel like I'm sitting in a good spot right now.
I can't get my mind off the fact that we literally were sleeping in a tent last night, the four of us. Well, they were all kumbaya-ing over there, and we all thought it was our funeral.
We
We
made
thought
a
we were
comeback.
done.
Wreck that shit.
I'll tell you what, the turning point in
Underdog.
this game was the Naomi vote.
Yep.
That was
That
it.
was the
fact
it.
that we did her instead of me.
That was
Well,
it.
and that's what.
So Emily assigned Game of Thrones characters to each of us left in the game. She didn't tell us who they were, but I'm assuming I'm Tyrion because I like to drink. Haven't been able to do it all weekend, and I know things. Like I know what's going on in almost every conversation. There have been plenty of times that I didn't know what was going on, but I don't know. I just like to drink and have fun and be in the loop. We got Andrew. Who's that boy that works in the library? The big guy. That's him. He looks like him. And then Nick would be someone evil. I don't know who. Maybe he wouldn't be Ramsay, but he'd be someone that was like, ooh, maybe Peter Littlefinger or Longfinger, whatever his name is.
We've been
I mean, you're
calling
my
the
first.
shots the whole
you're
way,
my first
so.
ally, and honestly, I thought we've run this game.
I think so.
Yeah, so I would feel.
You've kind of done more of the dirty work, I would say, but
I think everyone. Yeah. Well, you started that
but
trouble.
we've made decisions together, so.
Yeah. So I mean,
Um,
I feel like we were the first allies. From what was the first 5 minutes we were over there, I said, me.
Yeah, I know. We were like, eye contact, we're good to go, and then we pulled in two more. So
We lost the first immunity challenge. Didn't win anything.
Hey guys, if you want, tell Andrew it's me. Okay.
I mean, I think that's what's happening in every time someone's gone and Andrew's there.
Yeah.
that's
Whoever's not there.
I'm
is-
okay with that.
because you know you're good. So
I don't want votes on me, but I think I'll make it look cool at the end. Seeing all the votes, like, oh, this is
right.
we all vote you just.
No,
so
don't
you
do
can
that.
make it.
Just for the radio piece, yeah,
Just posting.
he plays something. I'm like, oh, hey, you all.
You'd be like, I'm gonna
that
play
makes you
this
look
for
even better, though.
Carlo, and Carlos in there like,
Hi.
guys, I'm the last girl, so I won in some sense.
That is true. You're the final girl that made it.
Yeah.
I'm the last black guy, so
You're also the
didn't want
only.
to brag.
I was worried toward the beginning of the game because I voted Alyssa and I think she figured it out, so I was worried that I would be out pre-merge. And then the tribe swap happened and Alyssa was on my team. I had to flip on her so I wouldn't go to rocks. That was my first big move. Mark and I did that together, so that was the first big move of the game. Once that happened, I thought I'll be in the top 6 because I had my alliance of Old Seneca. But then they started distrusting me. If I get to final 3 or final 2, I'm hoping it's the final 3. If I get to the final 3, what will I say to the jury? I'm gonna say it's no hard feelings because I feel like all of them are mad at me, except maybe Adam. Everyone else on the jury is probably mad at me because I voted them out, because they're out because I flipped. But I had to do what I had to do. My choices were stick with an alliance that doesn't trust me, or go to an alliance that does trust me and does need me, and with people who I also want to work with. So it really wasn't a hard decision. So I have to explain that to them, and how I had to play for me and not necessarily for the team.
All right, Castaways, congratulations. You've made it to the final 5. 11 people have left, and you are still here. How are you feeling?
It's good to be here.
Hungry? What would you like right now? Just out of curiosity.
Ooh, a bowl of fruit.
A bowl of fruit.
Really? That's it?
Carlo, what would you
I'm
prefer?
about to take a bite out of that buffalo, to be honest.
All right, well, I've got an immunity challenge up for you guys right now. We're unfortunately going to have to go down to 4. Yeah. So another person's going to join the jury, which means that immunity is back up for grabs, which means unfortunately I'm going to take this back from you, sir. Good luck on getting it back.
Thank you.
One of you will get this back, and I can tell you how to do it. This competition is called 21-Minute Countdown, and you can pretty much tell what the game is by the name. Here's how it's going to work. You are going to stand around in a circle facing outwards, blindfolded. You must stand in the circle from the beginning of the game until the end of the game. However, you can do whatever you want in the circle. You must keep your blindfold on until you decide to take it off. Your goal is to take it off at the 21-minute mark. The person closest to 21 minutes, without going over, wins immunity, safe from tribal council, leaving the other 4 vulnerable to being voted out tonight. Now, if everyone is over 21 minutes, then the person closest after that then wins. Let me give you guys a quick second to strategize, and we'll get started. All right, survivors, are you ready?
Not quite.
Well, your time starts now.
Wait, this show of Survivor Buffalo is brought to you by Pringles.
I got no sponsors.
Here's what's going on. We don't care anymore. We're losing it. It's freezing cold, and all we do is sit in cars until they vote. So we want to with them.
8 minutes.
We have just reached the halfway point. We have just now reached halfway. 60, 59, 58, 57, 56, 55, 54, 53, 52, 51, 50, 49, 48, 47, 46, 45, 44, 43, 42, 41, 40, 39, 38, 37,
30, 31,
32, 33, 33, 33, 33, 61, 8,
38, 39.
Okay, I got her to change the pace that she was at, so that's good. 42, 41, 40. Carlo just said 70. That can't be right.
Survivors on Team Heart! What in the Sam hell is going on here? What is this tomfoolery? Oh, you all done messed up! You gotta ruin the major! The major plane is back! Oh, and we're gonna have some fun! We're gonna do a little cadence, a little song singing! Are you ready? Sound off after me! I don't know what I've been told!
I don't know what I've been told.
Survival Buffalo's mighty cold!
Survival Buffalo's mighty cold.
Oh my God! That was an embarrassment! Absolutely pathetic! You are a bunch of soup sandwiches! Low speed, high drag! I have the right mind to drop you right now! I want you all to give me 20! 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 4,000! Oh, come on, survivors! You gotta be better than that! You gotta do better than that if you wanna win this game! You wanna win this challenge! Come on! You gotta fight for it! That's the absolute worst display of German test I've seen in my life, survivor! You ain't gonna win this! No chance you have of winning this!
With somebody who loves me.
Guys, you're exactly halfway through the challenge. Congratulations on making it to 10.5 minutes.
21 minutes is subjective, right? I mean,
Time is relative.
right.
That will come into play.
You might be right. In some universe.
We're about to enter the second stage of the challenge. If you guys could each take 1 step forward. Great, thank you. Now take 2 steps backwards. All right. Thank you. Congratulations, you have reached the halfway point. Congratulations on reaching the 4th halfway point of the challenge. The challenge starts now.
Congratulations, you guys have finished the challenge. Any predictions?
I think I went over.
How far over are you thinking?
2.5.
Any other predictions?
I'd like to think I was right on it, but probably wasn't.
Okay, well, I can reveal the results. First up, Emily. You touched the idol at 33 minutes and 12 seconds.
Thanks a lot, Emily.
Eric, you touched the idol at 25 minutes and 5 seconds. Carlo, you touched the idol at 17 minutes on the... No, 17:24. And Nick, you touched the idol at 20 minutes and 42 seconds. And last but not least, Andrew, you pressed the idol at 19 minutes and 39 seconds, which means that we have a winner. Congratulations. Congratulations. You have won immunity. You're safe from tribal council, which means that the rest of you, unfortunately, are vulnerable tonight, and one of you will be joining the jury. Good luck.
Wow, that challenge was pretty crazy. I thought I had a good count. I was trying to do 1 through 60 in one hand in this pocket, and then I was trying to tally with this hand, but the distractions kind of threw me off a little bit. I guess I just counted too slow, so I had no clue who was going to win that challenge. So Fortunately for me, Nick's gonna give me his immunity necklace tonight, and he's got an idol that he's gonna play for himself because it's the last night that he can play it. So I'm safe no matter what, and I'm likely gonna be in the final tribal council because I've made deals with everybody. So even though there's only gonna be 4 of us left after this next vote, there's still a lot that can happen. There's gonna be some interesting stuff happening. Let me just put it that way. It's going down. So,
Which of those two would you vote for? I'll vote with you. Any way you say it.
probably Carlo, just because like the rest of us were tighter.
Oh really? Okay, so
I don't know. I mean, I just
okay, I'm okay with that.
I mean, I just got to put a name out there, you know. At this point, so.
Well, I think I'm going to be voted out at this tribal council. I've talked with everybody. Mm-hmm. The first person I talked to, Eric, suggested Carlo to me, but there's a very low chance that he's voting Carlo. I think Emily's the only one who might vote with me, and she even told me though, if she can't get a majority vote on that, she's not voting with me, and I completely understand that. So what I'm hoping for is Emily is able to get Eric on our side, and the 3 of us can vote out Carlo.
Who would you vote for if you had a choice right now?
Carlo. I'm scared of him actually, because the thing is, if you saw earlier today, he was talking to Naomi and Lindsay separately, and I'm sure he did it with other people. That's why I'm scared. He's not made anybody mad.
That's true.
And some of these people seem like they might be voting just on, did this person make me mad or not?
I promised Eric if I won immunity, I would give this to him. So I've already talked to my other alliances. Honestly, I did without even thinking because I didn't want to form like one tight alliance with one person. I wanted to make sure the whole group was with me. So I kind of regret saying that out loud because when I said that, now I don't want 2 other people thinking, oh, let's get out Nick because he gave it to Eric. So I'm hoping this will seal my fate with Eric, keeping me and him tight, and also making sure that I have a final 3 with whichever one doesn't win immunity next time, because that's my whole goal. My whole plan since the beginning was form a 4 alliance, but me be the center of it. So that person's going to take me, that person will take me, and that person will take me. I feel like I set myself up perfectly, and hopefully I'll be in final 3 no matter what now.
Okay, so if Eric was not lying to me, he's voting for Carlo. I voted for Carlo.
So
you would vote for Carlo with me?
I'd vote for Carlo with you. Like I told you, final 2.
Okay.
Like the only reason I wouldn't is if we don't actually have the numbers.
Right.
So the 3 of us need to like chat after we've all talked to each other.
You need to talk with Eric and see what you're actually on board, or see if he's actually on board. Otherwise, I'm out because I don't think Nick's going to vote Carlo. I feel like Nick's going to vote me.
Yeah.
Obviously, Nick can't be voted for. They want Andrew out. Just between you and me.
I'm happy.
He does have immunity power.
Like you've seen.
Nick has it.
Okay. So he's gonna use it on one of the 3 of us.
He's just gonna use it just because it's there. Like he's gonna flesh it out, but he did promise to give it to Eric, like if something happened. So he's like those 2 are tight. So I just gambled and told Emily about the immunity idol that Nick has. He has it, and he said he was going to give it to Eric. It has to be played this round, so I just wanted her to know that something was going on that she wasn't aware of. She's over there talking to them now. Hopefully she's not telling them that I told her, but at this point I don't care. I think it's worth me doing something in this game, like revealing information to someone, solidifying with Emily that at this point neither of us can beat Nick in the final 3, and we have to get him out. I don't think it's going to happen this round, obviously, because he has the immunity necklace around his neck. I really thought I had that challenge, but I went out too quick. So the plan is just to go ahead with Andrew now, and then it's just going to be a final 4 fight.
Don't forget, I'm giving the idol
To Eric, and I won't be offended.
Yeah.
But if you do vote me, I'll be sad.
I'm not voting. You're good. You're good. Don't
I'll
worry.
just be sad.
You're good.
Okay.
I stick to my truth.
Yeah.
All right.
Loyalty.
Don't worry. I got you.
If I win the next community challenge, I'm going rogue. If I don't, I'm going to stay very nice, very loyal. But Andrew wants me to vote Carlo with Eric and he thinks that's happening. Well, that's my perspective. To be honest, all these layers, the layers could just be they're all voting me. I don't know. I hope not, but it could be. And if it is, then it's been fun. But I'll probably give my legacy to Andrew, probably. I don't know. As long as, if the votes aren't unanimous, I'd give my legacy to him. I don't know. Damn, I didn't really think much about that. Like, I could be completely being played right now. Now I'm paranoid, but yeah, I'm voting Andrew, even though I promised him final 2 for like a long time. And I'm gonna tell him before tribal council that I'm voting him so that he's not like upset. But also, if I tell him before tribal council, maybe he'll switch his vote to me. There's so many things. This is like my the paranoia hole. Like, I've been digging it this entire game, and now I'm just like getting ready to sit in it and just like get really paranoid. So we'll see.
Let's bring in the members of the jury. Jared, Adam, Naomi, Maddie, Mark, and last voted out, Lindsay. Final 5. Man, oh man, that last competition. What happened?
Was this some shade?
No, that was not shade. I mean, you were eating. It's a true fact that you were eating in the challenge.
I thought it was 21 minutes, and I lost count a few times, but I didn't like really care.
Ah, I see.
I was like, I wanted to win, but when I lost count, I just like started over another minute, and then like I was just like, I want to have fun with it, so like I decided to have fun.
Well, luckily, Nick was able to capture the Covenant idol. How do you feel tonight? Final 5 with the idol. How do you feel?
It feels good. Like I said, the only time you ever feel confident coming into travel is with this on. Like when you see your name down a couple times, it's never fun. Seeing my name every travel since what was final 10, it's never a good feeling, but it's nice to see this is on my neck.
I see. Well, can you tell me a little bit about the vote that's happening here?
Well, I mean, this is the final 5. This is the 5 guys. We are the 5 people that work together to get to this point. So it's hard to make that final decision. So you go back, you analyze everything, you make a decision off of what you see and what you've kind of worked with everybody. So,
I see. Okay, well, what kind of decision are you making tonight? What's at stake?
It doesn't
for
matter.
You? It doesn't matter at all. None of it matters.
None of my vote matters.
Oh, your vote
Yeah.
doesn't matter. Why not?
Because I'm out.
Ah.
It's unanimous on me. I know it's unanimous vote on me. I'm pretty confident at least, unless some people want to be nice to me.
No, when you throw my name out.
Hey, I don't throw it out actually.
Carlos
Eric suggested it first.
Who did it first?
Eric suggested Carlo's name to me, and then I agreed to it.
Here's the thing, and this is just to defend myself, but we're all talking to each other. Obviously, you have to say somebody. You can't talk about the person you're talking to. So you got to throw out a name. So it's not.
And usually in these cases, it's my name that's usually thrown out. Just quick note.
Oh, okay.
Carlo, you've been on the bottom of this team since the merge.
So your
Other than
justification
Adam,
is-
you were on the bottom of this four. Not me. I'm not included in this group. Of this four, you're on the bottom.
Okay.
You can work with me and one of these two, or maybe even Nathan going to.
Next question.
Eric, you said your justification for his accusation is that's just the game.
Yeah, and it's like you have to talk about something. And, you know, when you're put on the spot, sometimes you're not really thinking. It's not like I have anything against Carlo or Emily per se. It's just more or less random at that point.
Just if you want to share that.
Was Carlo has not made anybody on the jury mad. So
I
he
see.
could be potentially a threat in the final 3. From getting their votes if some of them want to be mad jurors.
I see.
I gotta say something.
You know, if it's not random if you have a reason behind it. So maybe that's just a poor vocabulary choice, but it's not random.
Maybe.
But I don't think we have the type of jurors that are going to look at, they're not going to play emotionally, they're going to look at someone's actual game. They respect the game too much.
Can I talk to Carlo for a second?
Sure.
You said they're looking at people's gameplay. Why would you vote me off then? I flipped on a majority of them.
That was a
They
good-
don't want to vote me
If
out.
they're looking at the actual gameplay and taking the motion out of it, that was a good one.
I don't think most of them would agree with that. I don't deserve to be voted out right now if they're looking at gameplay.
Okay, so you don't deserve to be voted out right now.
Because I'm not a threat to any of these people.
Why are you not a threat?
Because I won't get any votes.
I don't like the term goat in general. I get really irritated when I like hear it in this show because like some people's strategy might be to be a goat. Like you want to get to the end, and if you can argue better than the people you're sitting next to are more articulate, maybe then you get it. Even if, because people, especially when you haven't worked with the people on the jury, they don't know what's been happening, so you can twist the story however you want.
All right, well, let's vote. Emily, you're up first.
I wish I had good news here, but unfortunately I don't. It's been fun.
All right, if anyone has a hidden immunity idol they would like to play for this tribal council, now is the time to do so.
Jeff? No, not really.
I actually do what I want.
I knew it!
I'll give it to Carlo. I know how nerve-wracking is to have your name thrown out, so that's Carlo's.
All right. I can confirm that this is a legitimate immunity idol. All votes cast for Carlo will not count. I'll read the votes. Carlo, which does not count.
There's no S on my name, bitch.
Andrew. Andrew. That's 2 votes, Andrew. Next vote. Andrew. That's enough votes. Andrew, I need you to bring me your charge.
Good to you.
Andrew, goat or not? Try this one.
It's been very fun with all of you. I think you all know why I flipped. I think I've explained it to all of you, so it was fun. And I understand this folks, so we can.
Me too.
Well, guys, it's been fun. I'm out. I'm not surprised, really. Emily let me know before the vote. I appreciate that. I understand her voting me just like everyone else did. I'd like to thank both of my parents for letting me get here, because one of them bought the plane tickets, one of them bought the hotel room. Jamesy, thank you. I'll even say thank you to Emily. It's been so fun working with you, Emily. I hope you win. Bye-bye.
This is the point where things get really hairy, obviously. And so there's going to be a lot of campaigning against each other. But I think we all respect each other as people. We've all played different types of games. Some of us more aggressive, some of us more under the radar and stealthy. But not everyone can play the same game, and I hope the jury is able to appreciate that. When they made the comment about me not having a lot of people in the jury mad at me, I kind of like out of the corner of my eye saw people kind of nodding their heads, so I wasn't really expecting that. I thought that I had a few enemies up there, but I guess not, so that's pretty good. As much as I love everyone and I love Nick to death, I can't sit next to him and win. So I need Nick to be going next.
My plan, if hopefully Eric's on board, like truly on board, is if Nick loses, we vote Nick out. But the thing is with Eric, he might want to vote me out. I don't know if he thinks me or Nick is a bigger threat. So I really want to win this immunity challenge so that I'm not even on the table for going. But obviously everyone does. But yeah, pretty much I'd take Carlo, I'd take Eric, I don't want Nick. But it comes down to it, I would go with Nick, Eric, just because I told them I would. I don't know. I don't know if I'd beat them. I just did pretty damn good. I've done pretty damn good.
Come a long way.
What, 5 minutes in, I said, what's the hell?
I know. This was the very first alliance of the game right here.
I would say so. If someone else beat us to it, it was.
Yeah. I mean, we got, as soon as we got to camp, we didn't even have to talk. We're just like, we're good.
Yep.
We made it happen, and here we are in the final four.
Yeah.
So that's exciting. It'll be great.
Oh, my neck, my back, everything's killing me now.
Mm-hmm.
My hamstrings finally loosened up.
Well, that's good. At least nobody passed out today.
I got all four here, and I said from the get-go I wanted my alliance in the end. I had to, unfortunately, take Andrew out this last one, and it was purely because my final four was these four guys. I did also have Sarah, so I want to give a shout out to Sarah because she'll probably watch this. You were right there with us. That fake idol is probably going to be the play of the year. So that was part of you, but it's gonna be a good last tribal. If everything goes right, it'll be me, Emily, and Eric for the final three. Again, and Kyle, you watch this, nothing against it. It's just that was my original alliance, and just like the whole thing with Andrew, I've sticked with the original deals I had. So again, I'm sorry, man. I know it's not gonna be cool probably when that comes out, but if you win immunity, I guess it'll change.
All right, final four. Time for this immunity competition. Unfortunately, I'm gonna have to take that back from you, sir. Immunity and certainty is back up for grabs. Here's how this competition is gonna work. Behind you, you have a mathematical puzzle on a sheet of paper. The first person to solve the puzzle will win immunity. In order to solve the puzzle, you must count the things that are on the puzzle, which are located over at the shelter. I will be located over there to make sure that your answer is accurate. The first person to present an accurate answer to me will win immunity and certainty. I'll let you guys take a second to get your minds ready for this, and bodies, frankly, and we'll get started. Survivors ready? Go!
I've got it. I don't either.
Correct! Emily wins immunity!
My heart.
Congratulations, Emily. You have won immunity. Safe from tribal council tonight. Unfortunately, the three of you are vulnerable. I'll leave it up to you to decide who is leaving. Good luck, castaways.
I just won the final immunity challenge, which is like really great. I'm like worried about Nick, but not worried. What I'm worried about Nick is him just talking over me and not really allowing me to have a chance to say my piece, because he would definitely take away from everything. And just make it his own, because he really thinks all these moves were his when they're really more behind the scenes work of like managing people. But I also don't want to say I'm managing people, because no jury's going to vote for someone that they think just manipulated them to the end. They're going to vote for someone who they think deserves to win. So I think I want to take Carlo and Eric before I hear their pitches, just because Carlo, there's no chance he wins. Like, he really hasn't been in charge of stuff. And the only reason he would win is if the jury is super bitter, and if they are super bitter, then they can choose him to win, and I'll be fine with that in terms of like, I'll know who played the better game. When it comes to Eric and I, we really did work together a lot, so that makes it hard in terms of what moves are my own, what moves are his.
It can't be any other way.
We set this up from day one. Well, from minute one.
Right.
Before even the first first challenge.
We agreed final three.
Yeah.
And that's what we're gonna do.
Yep, me, you, and Emily. Right.
Yep.
Of course, we're gonna talk to. I'll rather talk to Carl. You're gonna talk to him. You're probably gonna tell me.
I know.
It's
gonna suck.
Yeah, but
it's part of the game.
I don't think any of us can beat you in the finale.
I
but I'm not going to sit here and say, I don't know what I'm going to do. Maybe I'll do Eric. You want me to do Eric? No, I said your name.
I'll be straight with you, and of course, that's what I did. I did the same thing with you. I wasn't gonna be straight with you because I'm like, I don't know whatever's better, being straight with someone like that, or being
I mean, the level of respect we have for each other this whole game, like, I'm not gonna.
Because I'll be honest, I even because of course, I don't know if Eric was sincere about voting you out, because of course we talked all to each other.
Yeah.
But it's the same thing. We kept going back and forth. Like, if we are gonna vote him off, do we tell him ahead to? I'll tell you that's gonna be my vote.
I appreciate. I would much rather know ahead of time. It's much more respect that way. I was so close. I was about 5 seconds behind Emily, and I had the right answer. So pissed off at myself. I really needed this win. So before all of this went down, I went to Emily and I let her know that Nick and Eric, I feel like, are tighter with each other. We've been a strong four this whole time, but I feel like they're a strong two within the four. And I knew that Nick had the immunity idol, and he said that he was actually going to give it to Eric, but in the last tribal council, he played it on me, which was a great play on his part, because I think maybe he was catching on to the fact that I was on to him and kind of wanting to get him out. But I still want him out because I can't win sitting next to him. So I need to talk to Emily and see if she's still on board with it. She wants to, she told me she was willing to vote him out. I think the two boys are going to vote me, so it's probably going to be a tie. But I'd rather take that chance than sit next to Nick, because Nick is going to stomp any one of us in the final. He's played an amazing game. He does have enemies, I think, but I think they're going to respect his game more than they're going to be upset at being voted out. So all I can rely on is my strategy, my social game. That's been getting me this far. I may not have won challenges, but I'm proud of the social game I played. I knew that was my strength coming into it. I said that before I even got here in my audition video, so it's what I ended up having to rely on. And I said this in another video, but I haven't done one of these games in like 3 years, but I've hosted and I've played, and I wanted to get back into the community and see if I still had it. And here I'm in the final four, so I'm happy with that. But I still want to be in that final three. And hopefully, here comes Emily, hopefully I can talk to her just for a second and see if she's still on board with being my number one and going to the end with her. and Nick is campaigning against me, which I expected totally. Not upset about it.
Yep.
My pitch to Eric is that, like, I'm putting it out there. I'm even telling Nick when I talk to him, like, I don't think I can win next year. So I am voting for you. I still don't feel like any of us could win next to him. And I know he's spun all kinds of tales, and he has a lot of good things that he can say to you to make you want to keep him. But I really do want it to be you, me, and Eric. And I don't think we can win next to him. I think they're going to look at us like we're stupid if we haven't taken him out.
I mean, I think you had a lot of the scheming behind the scenes. You brought it up to Eric and I. You also made a lot of small alliances that kept us in the game. Like that move from last night, the only reason I stayed in is because of what you did. You could have easily said, oh, I voted off someone else, and I've been screwed. So that's why, like I just told, I almost called him Zach again. Like I just told Eric, I made an alliance with you, Emily, and Sarah from day one.
And you guys are definitely voting together, so it'll be good. It won't be a deadlock.
I just told him to go talk to Carla because we gotta give him a chance to talk to everyone.
I don't really want to see a deadlock.
No, it's not a deadlock. It's gonna be us. Me and Eric are both voting for Carla. So it's up to you. If you vote for Carla, it's gone. So.
All right, castaways, you've made it to the final four. So let's have our one jury member come in, Andrew. Unfortunately, the rest of the jury members have succumbed to the Buffalo. Where is he?
They quit.
I'm over here. Oh, hello. Hi. And congratulations, you have made it to the final three. It's time to figure out which two of you will be coming with her. So, who's that going to be? And why?
There's not a lot of options.
Yeah, you know, who's it going to be and why?
I've worked with all three of these guys since the beginning. Every vote that we've done to State Tribal, we voted together. I think. I hope. You gotta have those names. But it comes down to just like who has the best pitch for why not them, why someone specifically. Yeah. Comes down to the best pitch.
Let's hear the pitches. What about you? What pitch might you give the tribe for why you should be brought into the final three?
I'm passionate about Survivor. I love this game so much, and I've always dreamed of like being in a final three. Granted, this isn't CBS, but it's still pretty cool. It's a first time experience to do this, and I would just love the experience of being at the final judging council.
Okay, so passion is his argument.
I would say mine's been loyalty. I've put myself on the line, I think, I don't know how many times, but I'm just trying to help my tribe get to the final four. I'm sure everyone else has done the same, but it's one of those things that made sure that whenever I got any whiff of anyone going home, I worked with my butt off to make sure my main four never went home. And I worked my butt off every day to keep that up. I should say every hour, I guess, because it's only 2 days. But I worked my butt off to do that. And that also means there's a lot of jury members. So I don't know if I'll be getting a lot of votes. So I mean, I definitely want to be in the final because it's like a dream, right? There's a reason why I came all the way down from Maine to do this because I love this. This is like awesome. There's nothing better than this.
So passion twice, along with a lot of other good game reasons.
So yeah, passion, loyalty. I'm gonna say a combination of the two. I've been talking to everyone about how I've been doing these live reality games and mostly just Big Brother, but this is my first time stepping into Survivor. For like 3 years I didn't do any of these games. I didn't have a social life because of the stuff that was going on, but I wanted to finally get back into this and, as I've said to the camera, see if I still had it. And although I may not have won any competitions, I went hard every time. I almost threw up a few times, you know, in that chicken grabbing competition. Of course, a black man's gonna grab a chicken and make it back. And as far as loyalty, oh my God. I mean, I don't know what to say about these three other than they've had my back and I've had their back. And it's very rare in games like this that people can start a game together and be split up and come back together and never turn on each other. And it never crossed my mind to do that until now, when I'm forced to do it. So I love these games just as much as anyone, and I'm so glad I got a chance to come back and experience it, and I wouldn't change this for the world. And I think anyone sitting next to me in the finale has a good shot at not being the third slot, because I think the jury is going to look at the overall resume. And if you're looking at it on paper, not a lot of moves that were initiated by me, moves that were carried out by me. I would swing vote a lot, but I don't see myself getting jury votes because I don't see that I made those big moves. I didn't get any secret powers and use them. And I think they're going to say, well, what did you contribute? So I think bringing me along would be great for that reason. And that said, I can't take anything away from these three because I love each and every one.
I do want to like go off of what Carlos said. Like we're all like really good pals at this point. Like it's crazy. Like at 5, we had our 5-person alliance sitting there, and we had to vote one off. And then we have our 4-person alliance, and we had to vote one off. And for me tonight, it comes down to a combination of factors. But I will be voting for Carlo tonight.
Okay, wow, okay, so that's the first time I've heard someone just blatantly say it right out. I mean, Carlo, did you know this beforehand?
No, I didn't. But I worked my ass off to make this not happen. But we've had such an open forum this entire time. I said, let's just, on a level of respect, just be straight up with each other. I told Nick, I'm saying your name. Nick, I know you're saying my name. I do think this is a mistake because the boys are going to say my name too. And so I'm the final member of the jury and I'm going to slay it. But I don't think anyone's going to win this.
I don't want to go to rocks, so if that's the case, I'm going to be open to and say yes. It's too late in the game to be chosen by fate.
All right, well, I suppose it's now time to vote. You're up first.
Love you to pieces. I hope you can understand, once you see my advantage, why this was the best move for me.
All right, I'll count the votes. The person who has the most amount of votes will be asked to leave the tribal council area lead. First vote, Carlo. Nick. There's one vote Carlo, one vote Nick. Next vote, Carlo. That's 2 votes Carlo, 1 vote Nick. I'll read the last vote. The last person voted out is Survivor Buffalo, and the next member of our jury, Carlo. You need to bring me your torch. The tribe is spoken.
So at least I knew it was coming. We got it all out there in the open that we were going to be open about who was going home. I still think it's a huge mistake. I think it's insane. Nick is going to win this in a clean sweep. Now, right before the votes were read, Emily said to me that it's not a final 3. She said something about it not being a final 3, like maybe there's a final 2. And she smiled. And I'm like, well, if that's the case, that makes me feel even worse. Why would you get rid of me now if there's a final 2? So that's why I didn't have much to say at the end, because I don't know if that's the case. I think that sucks, and I think they suck. But I'm still pretty happy with how I played. I had to rely on strategy and social game the entire time, and it took me pretty far in the game. I do think Nick has played the best game out of everyone there, and he definitely has my vote, unless there's something said in the finale that makes me think otherwise. But going into it now, I think Nick's the winner.
I thought I played a very strategic game. I didn't think coming into it that I would get all the way to the end. I was hopeful, obviously, that I would, and it did play out that way. But my whole goal was make bonds right away at the very beginning with people that you can trust. And I took those bonds all the way through the game, even with the swaps and all the twists that happened to Tribal Council. We stayed strong through everything. You know, I just tried to play the best game I could, play the hardest, go out there and give 100% in every challenge, and you know, try to make not only bonds in the game, but like kind of personal connections with each and every person. And I think that'll help me get some votes. For me, it would mean everything to win. I've always wanted to be on Survivor, so to be titled the, and just to give you a little example here, Sole Survivor, the title is everything for me, so to go home with that title would be awesome, because I just love this game so much.
I think I played the best game I could. My favorite character of Survivor ever was Yule, and I felt like I played like Yule this season. I didn't I worked hard on all my challenges to help my team, but I didn't stick out more than anybody else. Like, we had a few people that was in my alliance. I found an alliance early and I stuck with it. So yeah, I feel like it was a good game played. Maybe there's a few moves I was even thinking I should have done this a little bit differently, but the end result, I'm here. So now it's interested to see how I can convince the jury that I just voted all out, because I had handed every single one of those people going out, if I can get them to give me the Sole Survivor. Dream come true. Honestly, my wife can attest to this. I absolutely I'm obsessed with Survivor. I go back and watch previous seasons. It's probably why whenever you hear me talking very strategically, it probably sounds like someone from Survivor would talk, because I'm religious with this game, and it's been a blast. It really has. Win or lose, it was a great experience. Of course, I'm gonna love it even more if I win it. I kept joking with my wife, I'm only going there if I win. You know, that's it. But honestly, expectations of this. I started season 1. I'm like, oh, so it's probably gonna be low key. It was set up perfectly. The whole performance was great, but everyone, the game's awesome. So yeah, I win. That would be dream come true for me.
Basically, like, I stayed loyal to people to get here, and I don't, like, it's crazy that I stayed loyal because I came in here thinking I was being very, very villainous. And I came in with my best friend, but we didn't work together, like, at all. In fact, I voted her out. I came in knowing who Sarah Gallagher, but it was a very short stint of working together, but it was very necessary. I was able to steal a vote and use it properly. Then we were able to break up the majority, and 4 people from original tribe ended up as the final 4, and the final 3 are the first 2 people that I was working with. 2 of the 4 from our 4 with Sarah. We're all here together, but tonight I will be using an advantage to remove Nick from the final 3 and make it a final 2, and it's what needs to happen because the jury seems so set on him winning, even though he's just like a guy that, like, he's such a stand-up guy, but he definitely talks over people and, like, claims those that weren't his. So for Eric and I, who are a little more quiet in terms of a game, it's important that we have him gone.
Hello and welcome, our final 3 castaways. Let's bring in our jury. Jared, Adam, Naomi, Maddie, Mark, Lindsay, Andrew, and Carlo. Ladies and gentlemen, we have our final 3. Thank you guys so much for joining us. I'm really glad you guys are here. First off, before we can begin the finale, we have a little bit of a secret that we need to reveal to you. I haven't mentioned Fate versus Free Will in quite a while, and this is the reason why. Behind the scenes, there has been a battle between Fate and Free Will. Fate would have it that one of you would be given a legacy advantage. A legacy advantage that comes into play now. Can the player who currently has the legacy advantage please stand now?
So I found this at the merge. So it is a legacy final 3 advantage that never had to go through the legacy process because I stayed in the game from that point. It was wrapped in my buff on the table, and I grabbed it. I'm sure lots of you were looking for stuff at Runes Feeds, but this is how it reads. Congratulations. You have been given the Legacy Final 3 advantage. This advantage gives you the chance to put free will to the test one last time. At the Final 3, there will be no challenge. Instead, you will decide whether there will be a Final 3 or a Final 2. If you decide Final 3, then all 3 remaining players go to the finals and put the power in the jury's hands. If you decide Final 2, then all you decide who will sit next to and fight it out in front of the jury for the title of Sole Survivor.
All right, so fate would have it that you ended up with this, and now you have the free will to decide what happens now in the final 3. Take it away.
I am making it a Final 2.
All right, who are you going to take to the final 2?
I'm sorry, Nick, but I'm putting you on the jury. There's no way I'd beat you.
Nick, congratulations. All right, we have our final 2 here. Congratulations. You have weathered this crazy storm between fate and free will. And now it's time to see who they will choose. Jury, I suspect you guys have questions to ask these 2. Well, before we can go, we are going to have introductory speeches from both members of the cast. Is there anyone who wants to go first?
I'll go first. For one, I want to thank you all for playing an awesome game. It's been fun to connect with all of you. My goal coming into this game was to connect and form alliance right away, and that's what I did. I grabbed Nick, I grabbed Sarah, and I grabbed Emily, and we tried to make the moves to get us to the end. And we survived a swap. We almost went to rocks. We tried to stay strong throughout all of it, and no hard feelings across the board. Everything was just strategic. I was trying to balance my alliance with, the 3 of us making moves, Carlo as well. We were, trying to work together and try to get to the final 4, which is what we did. So, that's all I got.
All right.
So yeah, we started working together on day 1, all 4 of us, when we voted out Linda. And you were part of that, Adam, don't worry. But it was quite the journey. There's so many times where everyone's like, is it me, is it me, is it me? And you're building relationships, and I'd like to hopefully answer any questions you have for me, because I know there's a lot of people that I've talked to on here and that I have lied to. And I want to be completely candid and answer questions in the most honest way that I can, and not in just like a political way. So I hope you can respect that, and that you can hopefully have a winner that represents Survivor Buffalo Season 1.
All right, thank you so much, Final 2. It is now time for the jury to take the stage. Who would like to go first? Adam.
Congratulations. I'd like to start off by stealing the quote from the Game of Thrones. When you play the game of Survivor, you either win or you die, metaphorically speaking. And so one of you will sit on the chicken wing throne of Survivor Buffalo, while the other will be cast aside like a crappy, rotten piece of drumstick onto this pile of collection of losers that we are. And in Survivor, there's generally 2 types of jurors. You have the gamer, who really values the strategic level of play of the game, and everything goes along with it, the deceit, the lying, the backstabbing, the manipulating. And then you have the juror who's sometimes called the bitter bitch, who takes the game personally, who's offended by the lying, and is infuriated when they're backstabbed. And I don't know what type of jurors these are here. Hell, I don't even know what type of juror I am. So, in the season of fate or free will, I want to give you a choice. I want you to either own, in this specific situation I'm going to present, either a strategic answer or an empathetic answer. So, in my opinion, one of the most biggest game-changing moments of this game was at the final 10 when I was voted out. In this moment, from my knowledge, you both betrayed me. And good for you. That led, and from what I saw, Andrew flipping and the subsequent pagonging of the Seneca tribe, and you two landing here in the final 2. So, here's your chance. You can answer only one, strategically or empathetically. I'll start with you, Eric.
Okay. Since I only have one option. Just to clarify, strategically, we were trying to save ourselves because we didn't have the numbers at that point in the game, and they were looking to get rid of one of us, and we had to vote for you to show our loyalty to them at that point to try to get in.
At that point for me, I was in a very tough spot because I was told, make sure you're first, make sure that you're with us. And so, make sure you vote Adam. And I had to decide with everybody whether it was flipping on you or if it was trying to just cross their fingers, vote for one of them, something like that. Unfortunately, it wasn't that we voted you out because of who you were, which would be probably better to own it, but we voted you out because it wasn't us.
Thank you.
Who would like to go next?
Maddie's up. Yes. So I've got like 2 separate questions. So one's gonna be for Eric, one's gonna be for Emily. Do you guys have a preference of who wants to go first? No? Okay. Eric, so I never really worked with you all that much during the game, so I guess like you said your whole thing was based on like the whole alliance, and I don't know, I never really saw anything crazy from you, like, or I just don't have
fair enough.
I don't have a reason to dislike you, but I don't have a
Right.
reason to like you either, I guess. So I'm just trying to like
I
get a better feel.
Yeah,
for it
so I'd be happy to explain it. So like for a majority of the game, we were working from, we were the underdogs in the beginning because we won the first challenge and then we sucked at puzzles. So then we lost the next 2, and then we were trying to make anything happen at that point, and unfortunately I would have loved to have worked with other people on the other side, Lindsay, you, and we were on the other side of it, and we thought we needed to try to get an in somewhere to, because otherwise we could get picked off one by one. And it's not to say that you would have went that direction, but we didn't know what your strategies were, so that's kind of what we were trying to accomplish.
Okay, and then Emily, my dear friend. So you lied to me multiple times, and we have a 6-hour car ride back. Yeah, so save your butt.
Oh, for the car ride? So basically my point on like our relationship in the game is I wanted to keep it as secret as possible and then start working together at some point.
Yeah, because that never happened.
Yeah,
You betrayed me when I tried to let that happen.
As soon as we merged, it was you and me both asking each other to flip. Neither one of us was willing to give any inch or anything. Like I wasn't, you weren't. And then it came to the Naomi vote, where your name was out there and Adam and Andrew's vote was out there. And it came to the point of, at first the name was you.
Mm-hmm.
And then we switched it to Naomi because we thought that would be a bigger hit to your tribe. And not to take anything
No, you're good.
But in terms of like us, neither one of us seemed to be giving an inch.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't want to sacrifice my entire game to work with you when I would have been at the bottom of that.
I just have like one last thing.
Yeah.
I don't recall you ever asking me to flip.
I asked you on the Adam vote. When we were in the backyard, I asked if you would be willing to vote any of them, and you said no. You said not now.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, who would like to go next?
I'm gonna go next. Eric, the first thing you said at this tribal council was, I tried to make connections with everybody in the game. Which is strange because the first thing I remember hearing you say in this game was, I tried to make connections with everyone in this game. I hadn't heard you spoke basically until today. What was your game? Was your game? No, listen. All I'm saying is, from the perspective of me, you were in this game to be brought to the end by Nick. And Nick successfully did what he wanted to do. He brought 2 people to the end that no one wanted to vote for. What's your?
Be happy to explain
Yeah.
it. In the beginning, like, we knew. I thought it would be good to have a shield. You know, have somebody that was a leader that would give us a little bit of protection. And in the beginning, Adam was the all-star. He was like the guy that could go out and probably win any challenge. You know, he spoke very well. So at that point, you know, he was the guy to, you know, take the heat off of us. And then, you know, even later in the game, you know, we were in alliance, obviously, with Nick, and he would take the heat off of us as well at that point. So I guess that's what we were trying to accomplish. You know, I didn't get the opportunity to strategize or talk with everybody because we were separated for a while. So
We weren't separated when I was in the game before I got voted out. We weren't separated before a lot of these other people got voted out who you didn't have a conversation with. Doesn't matter. I've gotten what I need from you.
Gotcha.
Emily, how do you think people thought you treated them, specifically Linda Ellis?
Okay, I don't think anybody thinks that they were treated well by me because it came to the point where, like, I would tell everybody, yes, I'm with you, and then suddenly they're gone.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I am probably perceived as a backstabbing bitch, like 110%, and like, I guess I own it a bit, but I also like regret it because there's no need to necessarily backstab, especially like once we had the majority. I didn't need to be telling everyone that like I wasn't voting for them because like it would have been more candid. And I started with Andrew. I started not saying that, but it was way too late to like really change the tone of the game. And then like Linda was probably severely hurt by.
Why do you think that is?
We talked so much that first like time, and like we had a really personal conversation that we both like share a lot, and
you voted her out.
And then I voted her out right away just because of the majority.
All right, I want to congratulate Nick on playing a great game.
Who would like to go next?
I don't really have a question. I think I'm just like hurt on a personal level. I think it's just hard because everyone wanted Nick to win. And it's just like, I don't know what to do. But whatever happens, no one's gonna be happy. Yeah, that's it.
To like address that in terms of like you specifically being hurt.
I don't need an answer.
Okay, that's fair.
All right. Next up is Carlo.
Okay. So, in light of that Uber power that you just played, my strategic mind has been working, and so it kind of threw my question out the window. I wanted to know why still take our hero here over me. And I see now, strategically, that it was because you wanted to play that power against him and be the one that slayed the giant. So, good on you for that. My other question, well, my first question is going to be, why are you sitting next to Eric instead of me when I tried to make a genuine connection with you? I told you I wasn't going to let the boys take the girls out, and I meant it.
Yeah.
I said it to the camera so you would see it. I told you about the immunity idol that he had to try and build more trust with you. So, are you sitting next to him because you feel like you can beat him?
I'm sitting next to Eric because from a personal level, I had connections with you, but I had connections with Eric first.
So you went based it on a connection rather than who you think you can beat?
I thought I could beat both of you.
Oh, okay.
All right, after Carlo, it's Naomi's turn.
Hi guys. Eric, I want to know what you own. You didn't talk very strategically, from my remembering, to me or any of the other Red Tribe, and that doesn't mean that you didn't make strategic moves. It just means we weren't a part of them, and that's fine. But I want you to tell me what you did. What did you do that Emily didn't? Why do you deserve to win over Emily?
In a way, I was kind of trying to tie both Emily and Nick. because they both trusted me the most. So I kind of had control a little bit both ways, if you will. And a lot of times they would both come to me and kind of convene on what we should do. And I kind of, steered them in the right direction. I might not have specifically strategized with you
Sure.
or you or you.
Do you have a
but
specific example of that? Like someone's vote out in this jury?
Yours.
Okay.
And I'm not saying it because you're asking
No,
a
no,
question, but for us, that was the turning point in the game.
Mhm.
And what happened was right before Tribal, I went to Emily and said, this is what we got to do. We agreed on it.
It's fine. We've heard a lot from the jury, so don't worry about it. Emily, I don't really know what to say to you, and that's not a bad thing. I think there's a lot to say to you, and I don't know how to get it out in like 30 seconds. I hope you recognize that my friends who came out of this game, because I had friends in this game too. Jared and I run a show together, and Mark and I are friends. I had friends too, but what I didn't do is backstab them, and I also didn't, so we got to work together out of convenience, and you and Maddie didn't. So I understand that it's a different story. I don't think that you backstabbing Maddie is the worst thing in the world. Emily, I want to ask you, when you think back on this game, and you think about how you played and the moves you made, what are you proud of and what are you not proud of?
Okay. So I'm really not proud of the way I backstabbed in terms of I turned to you and said, yes, we're fine, it's Andrew. And then we all voted you. And then I always expected other people to trust me, and I never offered that trust in return. Like I don't know if I ever trusted anybody. Like even Eric and Nick, I would always ask them, are you sure like my name's not out there? Are you sure it's not me? Every single time. What I am proud of is sticking with an alliance, because I came in here with the mindset that I wanted to be a flip-flopper. And like when I came to you guys asking, like, should we do this? Should we do this? Like, I genuinely was trying to keep my options open to do that. And then it came out, as soon as we realized Andrew would work with us, I didn't need to be putting myself in that flip position, so I locked myself in.
If, in one word, name, who do you think is responsible, both of you I want to know, for flipping Andrew to your side?
Me.
I would say Emily as well.
Thank you.
Who would like to go next?
So would you both agree that awareness is an important trait for a good player of this game?
Yeah.
Yes?
Yeah.
Okay. So pick someone that's not Nick, that's not Carlo, and that's not Adam, who's on the jury, and explain to me what their game was.
I'm gonna go with you, Lindsay. From the beginning, I saw you as having a leadership role in Seneca. I thought you were ready to make connections with people, talk with them, form a deep personal bond so that they understood you as a person, they knew that you understood them, and that you guys were together. And when Naomi was voted out, it was obvious just how close you had gotten to people. It took a real toll on you emotionally, and I think from that point you did check out a little bit, but I think that was also strategic. I think it was a bit of like, if I back away, they're not going to vote me out. And it happened. You got 2 more. And then you were willing to get the game face back on and really talk to people and just like see every option. You were an every option type of person. You went through everything that could have happened, and then you talked to people and knew exactly what to say to me, what to say to Eric, what to say to Nick, Carlo, Andrew, like who would be saying what. And you almost had me flip that vote.
All right, Eric, someone other than Lindsay.
I'm gonna go with Bark. I thought he played a really good game overall. He was a very strategic player. He was really good at challenges, and he was the one that I felt he was helping keep your tribe together. I don't know. I mean, that's just the awareness that I saw, but that's it.
Okay, hi guys. Congratulations. Obviously you played a really good game to get here, and so I think you guys should be proud of it. So my question, I guess, is more specifically about the isolation that you put me and Mark through, and what that decision was like for you, like what you thought that was accomplishing, to go off with your numbers and just leave us sitting there like complete idiots, twiddling our thumbs.
I always felt bad. I never wanted to isolate other people, and that's 100% honest. It's just we got pulled into conversations, and unfortunately, that's just how it got played out. And I felt bad, honestly. I never wanted to, you know, like have like once we had the numbers, see like us five talking together, and then having like the two of you just sitting there. And honestly,
So I should vote for you because you feel bad, or like what do you think? Like, why do you think I should? You know, like given what you did and how I play, like why do you think I should vote for you?
I think we could have had something. I know we talked at the end there to try to make something happen, but it was just going to be hard to try to convince other people to flip at that point. So.
So in this game, Eric was the only one I trusted 100%. He's the only one that knew about the advantage for the legacy. And being in that majority, it was always terrifying if you saw part of the majority go without you. So whenever someone said, let's talk, you definitely went. And then I personally didn't want to be the person that was seen talking to Lindsay or seen talking to Mark and causing paranoia within an alliance because, oh, maybe Emily's scheming with them to flip. And so it was just like that like group, I think it was truly that like group mentality of like, we're trying to stay together, don't scheme, don't throw out other people's names. And
So it was okay to treat me like that because
it was not.
So why
okay.
should I vote for you? Given that you did that and how I played.
I think it's really hard for you. Like any person voted out after you did that to you, so your options are obviously really painful.
Right.
But I always would sit down and I try to make Mark laugh or smile, and like he just like was really down. And I tried talking to him a few times, but I'd only talked to you I think maybe once individually before before Mark was voted out. So I felt like any connection I tried to form with you would have been very obviously disingenuous.
Thank you. Good luck.
Who would like to go next? All right, our last juror to speak will be Nick.
First off, just congrats, guys. Honestly, made final two. That's tough right now, so I wasn't 100% prepared. I will just give Lindsay a heads up. Don't hold that against those two. I purposely did pull people away to make sure I didn't have anyone flip on me. That was on me, not on them. So if that's your deciding factor, don't use that against them. I was purposely keeping people away. It was just part of my strategy for that. So I apologize. I didn't know that affected you that way. Just want to get that out there. But for right now, I want to focus on you two. I mean, honestly, you guys did play a great game. I mean, we've been allies since the beginning. So based off what you said to Carlo earlier, you were saying that you kept Eric around because not because you thought you could beat him, but because you're allies with him first. So because you had that advantage, is there a reason? I get it, you know, maybe it's just pure by one, maybe it's an easy answer for you, but it's a reason why you didn't keep it at 3 and just see if you could beat me straight up.
So basically during that Final Four, I was listening to Carlo's pitch and I was listening to your pitch. I went to a confessional right beforehand and I said that I can't take Nick to the finals no matter what because he'll beat me. Then then Carlo you talked to me first and everything you said was making sense. I couldn't take Carlo because maybe he was going to be like upset, maybe he'd be able to just like dominate me in a conversation. And everything you said makes sense. I was like, yes, that makes sense. Then I talked to Carlo and he gave a perfect pitch to get rid of you. And I was like, either or. So I considered making it go to a tie because I was like, either way. I hadn't decided at that point if I was going to go to a final 3 or a final 2 because I needed to gauge where like I was at, what I was comfortable with the game. And then I read my advantage and I was like, I can't take Nick to the end. Everyone has been saying from every time a juror's gone or like even still in the game, like, I'll vote for Nick, I'll vote for Nick. And so I knew I couldn't sit here with you. With Eric, it was a bit more of a toss because we were close and we both probably leave a bitter taste in the mouth.
I gotcha. So, Eric, hearing that, of course, me and you
first minute, like we had an
Right.
alliance. That's why, you know, I don't know how many times I do myself like under a lot of buses trying to keep my group together. So that hurts knowing that you knew about an advantage that I didn't even know about. I mean, you could have still played it on me, and I still wouldn't have known about it. And I would have known about it, but I would at least been, hey, here's a heads up. You might not be eliminated. You might be eliminated right before. That sucked.
I know, and I get that, but it's something that when she found it, she came to me right away, and she told me that she found it, and we just made a pact not to tell anybody for the whole game. You know, just let it go through, and we'll just see how it plays out at that point. And it wasn't in any way to hurt you. We just knew that there was no way we could. You had too many things on your resume. You found it idle without a clue. You won challenges. You protected multiple people. So, but in the end, there was just no way that we were going to beat you.
All right, final two. It is now time for your closing remarks. Does anyone want to go first?
I'll go first. Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead,
ladies first.
Ladies first.
I guess, I really hope you guys don't take everything as personally, but I understand we're all people in this game. We're not votes. We're not just votes on a jury. We're not votes in the game. We're not just this objects. We're people. And I truly want to be friends with all of you after this. Let's do a meetup sometime, because it was great getting to know you. But also, I know I'm a lot younger than you guys, and I might not have as much life experience going into this. So I just want you to know that I'm learning something from this, and I hope each of you have found something that you can take away.
I don't know how I could beat that. That was good. So just right off the bat, I get nervous in front of a crowd. I do, and part of it for me was that was why when I stuck to a couple of people that I could trust, I didn't go outside of that. And obviously it gives me a negative image because I didn't get to work with every single one of you, but I just tried the best I could to get the furthest I could and get to the end. And I love this game. I always dreamed of being the sole survivor of a survivor, and this is probably the closest I'm gonna get. I'm older. I'm 35 years old. I have a baby. I'm never gonna go on the real Survivor. It's just not gonna happen for me. I can't do it. At 2 days, I was puking 2 or 3 times. It was horrible. And for me, this is the only chance I'm gonna get. And I hope you respect the game I played, trying to, not look at you guys as numbers like Emily said, but just trying to just converse with everybody, and just knowing that it was just out of passion for the game. And I went with the people I was comfortable with, because overall in a large group I don't normally do that well. So I just hope you can respect the game I played.
So 35 is not that old. You tried it.
Congrats, you guys.
Yeah, and really from the entire jury, congratulations.
Okay, jurors, you've had your questions. It's now time to vote for a winner of Survivor Buffalo. Jared, you're up first.
My vote is for Emily. You played a really good game, and even though people felt burned, I thought you did a really good job of owning that, and I hope that what you said is true and that you're really learning from it. My 2 closest allies, both worthy winners, and my vote goes to Best Social Player.
This was the craziest game I've ever seen in my life. I respect both of these players. I really do.
me to do this. And I don't think we'll ever be friends. But you played the better game. And I don't want to be a bitter bitch.
I'm sure this will come to as a surprise to nobody. We had probably the worst secret alliance in the history of Survivor. Hope you win.
Set on one of you, and then the other one talked a good game in there. But I still think I'm set. Way more strategic. Didn't need to use special powers to get you where you are.
All right, you guys have crowned a winner. It's now time to figure out who it is. First vote. Emily. Eric. There's one vote Emily, one vote Eric. Emily. That's 2 votes Emily, 1 vote Eric. Eric. That's 2 votes Eric, 2 votes Emily. Emily. That's 3 votes Emily, 2 votes Eric. Eric.
Oh my god.
That's 3 votes Eric, 3 votes Emily. I'll read the next vote.
Your turn to flip.
Emily. That's 4 votes Emily, 3 votes Eric. I'll read the next vote. The winner of Survivor Buffalo Season 1, Emily.
Oh,